it's fine. Sorry for that.
Good. You were quicker.
Crisis management. Apologies for that.
Yeah, sure. Can you please give me access to share the screen?
Okay, now it
now
should
now
be
now I can share. Yeah.
perfect.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
We can see it in yeah. Now it's
good.
present.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today I will share experience of the company that I work for, how we were preparing and how we were like keep operating business during the war, and how we even managed to grow and keep our business up and running. Hopefully you would never need those knowledge, but I think this is very much applicable like to any crisis situation or any like black swan. No matter whether this is war, earthquake, or any other disaster that you may face. So a few words about myself. Yeah, I'm Vice President in Intellias. Intellias is like one of the biggest IT companies in Ukraine, operating mostly for the clients in the US, Europe, United Kingdom, and a little bit on the Middle East. I'm ex-president of PMI Ukraine Chapter. Finally successfully passed all my duties to the new leadership team. I was awarded with a couple of industry awards. I was one of the PMBOK 7th edition leader. I'm still committee member of ISO committee, which is like working on ISO 21500, which is project program and portfolio management. And yeah, I have a bunch of project management certification. But before I actually go to the main part, by the way, I apologize for my voice. I get a bit cold, so I may sound really not really sound. I will start with my little story about me beginning and the beginning of my career. I started project management career somewhere in 2012, 2013. And that time I joined one IT company in Ukraine. And within my first year of being part of this company and being young and on major project management, I was awarded with one of the biggest projects of this company in this company history, which was implementation of the SAP on one of the biggest metal plant in Europe, which is in Mariupol, the occupied area right now. I'm originally from Donetsk, which is also unfortunately occupied since 2014. And yeah, so it was huge project for me. I was awarded to I was assigned as a project manager there only because I had good skills in English, and that was kind of requirement there. So I decided that this project should be perfect. And that was the first time I opened PMBOK, and I started to creating documentation planning according to PMBOK and all processes there. And I paid a lot of attention to the risk management. I even applied Monte Carlo risk analysis for the project management. I think I'm one of the very few people who really did this, not only reading about this in PMBOK. So I tried to prepare as much as possible for this project, as I wanted to be very much successful. And something that I did not take into account, that in 2014, during the project implementation, we would have the first war with Russia. And that event completely broke all my plans. And I realized that majority of classical project management practices, it doesn't work at all when something happened like this, like some force majeure or some war. And yeah, the project turned to complete disaster. Unfortunately, one of our employees died during the execution of this project due to Russia artillery attack. And for me, that was pretty stressful situation. And I get a lot of lessons learned out of these events. And I somehow rethink what project management should look like in the circumstance like this. And after how many, like 7 years, like in the end of 2021, being in another company already. Myself and our leadership team, executive team of the company, we start realizing that there is a chance that full-fledged war with the Russia might happen soon. We actually did not believe in this scenario until very end. So it sounds for us like something like fantastic, you know. No one could believe that we would have the war like this, that like we are having now. But we said, okay, let's think what if, what should we do in case that's gonna happen? And we start doing some preparation on our end to ensure that if the worst scenario will happen, and it happened, what should we do? What should be our reaction? So here, my presentation will be split into parts. What we did before the war and what we did after. And I mean, what we did before the war and what we did after it started. So like 3 key bullets, like we formed an emergency team, think on possible scenarios and response strategies, and make proper decisions and preparation. I will go deeper into each of them in this part of preparation for the war. So we realized that like we are quite big company, so like more than 3,000 employees, and like change management process or decisions that we do in our company, despite we are quite flexible, it still takes time. And we realized that during such situation, we need to be very fast in like making any decisions. So we formed so-called emergency response team, which is actually our C-suites, heads of each function like finance, IT, legal, and head of our business verticals. I'm one of them. The idea that we like come together every week to review what's going on in the world, what kind of threats we have, what kind of risks we have, and think what we need to do, like, and make very fast decisions in case something might happen. We have kind of a rule that if something extraordinary would happen, we would meet within the next 60 minutes. So that helped our company to be very fast reacting to anything, like to any news and anything that might happen that time. So it was like end of 2021. We had special group of people who constantly analyze different media and different trustful sources, and then run ongoing daily like pestle analysis. If you know this pestle analysis, it's like something that usually company run once in a blue moon, just to build marketing strategy. We do this on constant basis just to analyze what's going on in the world. We analyze the situation in neighbor countries. We analyze the economical, social, different aspects that might somehow impact our company, as we realize that we might be very close to like some escalation of the war or something like that. So we need to have as much as possible information to make wise decisions. It's interesting actually that, you know, like I have to be honest, that majority of Ukrainians, we do not believe in the full-fledged war. However, we found some of the articles from 2020 even, where the war was predicted was pretty precise forecast. I mean, like that was like very much close to how it goes first days. So we saw multiple media shared like their forecast, their like vision of how that Russia is preparing for the war and what we should do in these circumstances. And you know, like for us, it was also like some thoughts how we model potential events that may happen in Ukraine and how we were preparing for them. We started preparing business continuity plan, basically who is doing what are the roles in the company, what should we do in different circumstances, how, and that was very live document, so it was updated on almost daily basis, depends on the like information that we get. We also use it in the communication with our clients, as we have a lot of clients from US, Europe, United Kingdom, and they were quite worried about like what is going on, because like we do some part of IT services for their business, and they were like kind of concerned that that might bring some risk for their business. So we shared with them this business continuity and what were our plan. We also model different scenarios, and like this is like one of the versions, but actually it was evolving, depends on the information we get. We were thinking, okay, how this escalation may look like, what would be the circumstances. We usually have a couple of the scenarios. This is like one of the versions where we have two scenarios. The situation we have now somewhere between scenario 1 and scenario 2, so we're somewhere like in between. But we were thinking, okay, what should we do, for example, in Kharkiv, where we have one of the offices and quite many our employees would be occupied. So how we ensure the security of our employees, the same for Odessa, the same for other cities. So we right model different situation. I have to be honest that by the beginning of the war, we did not believe that like Kyiv would be attacked from Belarus, and that was not in our BCP, so it was kind of a surprise for us. But now it's kind of lessons learned that we should think also like about very worst scenarios. We also analyzed that time what are the chances that Ukraine will stay without electricity, because we had kind of prediction that Russia may try to attack our energy infrastructure, and also we assess different scenarios and preparing for some blackouts. We were also analyzing the chances that Ukraine might be cut from internet and what should we do in this case, and so on and so forth. So basically analyzing all this information gave us some ideas what we can do actually to prepare to this situation. And our emergency team defined that top priority of the company, something that is the core and on the first place in terms of priority for this preparation, is employee mobility. So we need to ensure security of our employees, and this is the first priority. We able to ensure security of our employees only to enable them to be relocated in case of any escalation from danger zones. So we thought about logistics. We thought about was there's going to be buses or private cars or any other types of the transport. We tried to forecast what kind of roads it should be, what kind of communication we should build in emergency cases, because, for example, mobile network may drop down, or what should we do? We also think about how we can ensure power supply. Like we used our offices in west part of Ukraine as hubs where people may stay first time, where they may use in case of shortage of electricity or internet connectivity. So basically, we were thinking about different scenarios and how we can actually mitigate them, and we put this in response plan. The preparation itself. So first, we ensured autonomous power supply for all our offices. We opened one more office in Uzhhorod, which is very close to Hungarian border, beyond Carpathian Mountains, and that's quite far from any war zone. We ensured all our offices with internet connectivity. We were one of the first users of Starlinks, and basically we secured our offices that there will be always internet connection. We also have direct optical line from one of our offices in Lviv to Poland. So we were kind of independent, even local internet providers. We moved our services, critical services, from on-premise to cloud. Some of them, it was hybrid cloud, and we also opened some server rooms in Poland. And we have some redundant office space, availability of bank systems, and some reserve capabilities to ensure that we can pay salaries to our employees no matter what. So that was kind of preparation for the war that we did even before it started, and before we even were sure that it's gonna start or not. But unfortunately, it started. I remember that morning, it's like 23rd of February. Me and my colleague, we were talking to one of our key customers, and we were discussing with them. They were very much worried about the situation, and we were trying to persuade them that we are prepared for it. So we have our BCP, and we estimate that the chances are still not that high, and so on and so forth. But the next morning, I woke up at 6 o'clock from air alarm siren because it was missile attacks. I heard some explosion somewhere far. It was actually the second time in my life when I heard this. First time it was in 2014 in Donetsk. and I knew already what does it mean. So like I woke up, I took my phone, I saw 2 missed calls, one from my colleague actually, that we were talking together to our clients the day before, and from my mom. I started checking the news line, and like there was a lot, like first days there was a lot of Russia propaganda there, that Kiev is occupied already, Kharkiv is occupied already, Odessa is occupied already. It has you have feeling that you woke up in completely different country. So it was like pretty stressful morning. And but still, like we have the plan and we start executing our plan. And basically there are like 3 components that we were going through. Is like how we work with our employees, how we work with our clients, and how we as a company operate going forward. As I mentioned, safety of our employees was our top priority. Overall, we relocated even the higher number. So like we recalculated, it was like about 1,500 people. Those are our employees and their families, and about 300 pets. So basically, guys took like their cats, dogs, and we relocated everyone first to Lviv, and then from Lviv we distribute people across west of Ukraine, where we're like safer. That was pretty stressful time. Also, like some people have to stay in our office for a few nights, because it was pretty hard to find apartment first days, as many people were moving from east of Ukraine to west of Ukraine. And yeah, we have 1 floor for people with cats, another floor for the people with dogs, and 1 more floor for the people with other animals. We have 1 guy with huge iguana, and we are afraid that it may eat one of the Labrador in the office. And there was another guy who was like traveling with a huge snake in like it's big python in a bus, and like whole bus was kind of stressed for the whole night because it was too long trip. So yeah, it was like a pretty interesting time. Like a lot of people there were required some mental support, mental health, and we also provided this. So we have like some like professionals who worked with the people in such circumstances. We had some events to keep people up and running. We arranged multiple kindergartens for like people who relocated for their children, and different other kind of support. So like first priority was to ensure that all people are in safe zone. And there was also important, like that was pretty stressful moment, and nobody knows actually what's going to be next, especially for like first weeks, first months. Important was the communication of our C-suites with the company. So we have a regular CEO letter each Friday. Our CEO wrote a letter giving information about the company, about what is going on, and like provide the employees with some confidence that like we are strong, we are stable, and we keep operating, our clients staying with us. Apologize. Yeah, so we have regular town halls where like there were like live faces. Our leadership talk to people. We usually do this so bi-weekly, first bi-weekly, then monthly basis. And another important item of this was regular one-on-ones of all managers with their employees, with their teams. So these days, managers, they became like psychotherapists for their teams, because they need to ensure mental health of their team, and that people can still stay work, and so on and so forth. So basically, those were like pretty important items for like keeping the company and moral of the teams on a normal level. We actually achieved fantastic result. Like we tracked our employee engagement and loyalty to the company like on a constant basis, and we see that during the war, like employees very much appreciated the way how we behave, what we did for them, and how we support them with the relocation, with financial support, etc., etc. So we have the lowest attrition rate in the company's history till now, and we have very high like satisfaction from our employees, from the company, and what we were doing. We keep analyzing potential negative scenarios, and we keep up and running this business continuity plan. So we analyze different scenarios, what can be even worse. and we keep ensuring our clients and our teams that we know what to do in any circumstance. The next important point was clients. So one side is secure our employees, another side is secure the business of our clients, and we were very much attentive to this. During the war, we had we have only 2 small clients left the company during this time, but I'm even not sure 100% that it was just because of war. Maybe it's just some other circumstances which also impacted them. So we use very incremental reporting. So each day, each manager complete like ROC report, assessing the key areas of his project or her project, like scope, schedule, budget, etc. Those information aggregated to department level. So like each head of department see all projects in his portfolio or her portfolio, and their color the same I see on like business unit level. So based on the departments, wherever we see any red sign, like we dive deeper and understand what is going on, what is the issue, how we can help, and so on and so forth. So during that time, we did not like fail any release or any commitment to our clients, and basically the downtime was super small for majority of the projects. So like people just took 1 or 2 days for allocation, but majority of them, they keep working. And also like this kind of engagement to work will help people to overcome those difficulties, because you can switch off the context and like not reading the news at least for 4 or 8 hours during the work. We also keep on track on like operational level of the people, and within first 2 weeks we reached actually pre-war numbers. So like 97% of our employees, they were fully available, ready for work, and basically they keep working. We also like keep understanding where people are located in order to understand the risks for different clients. And like for some of our clients, they will help them to diversify risks, like growing their teams, for example, outside of Ukraine, and like have some such kind of balance. So that's what we did in terms of our clients. Also important part was the communication with the company. We had regular CEO letter to majority of our clients with updates similar to what we have internally, the same we did externally. For all our clients, we provided like BCPs, like business continuity plans, where we ensured our clients how we are going to keep their business secured, their services secured. Sometimes it was just like 1 pager. Sometimes like we work with large enterprises, public companies, and they required like huge document, like multi-list document about like this BCP. And also it helped us because we knew what questions we need to answer, and basically it also gave us some insights what we need to do in the company to ensure our clients that we are secure. And calls with the clients. So basically they saw people faces, they saw leadership, and they have some confidence that our company is able to perform all our commitments. We also start transforming our business because we, as a company, we realize that like our business environment is different. Like before the war, we have like, we have one of our parts of our strategy is globalization. So we had like target to have about 5% of our employees outside of Ukraine. We had before the war, we had like only 1 office outside of Ukraine, which were in Poland, and we had quite a few people there. And we wanted to grow this number, just to have some more diversified service portfolio. But it goes slow, but with the war, it accelerated very much. So within first 6 months after the war, we opened 8 new offices. We opened office in Bulgaria, Croatia, Spain, Portugal, Colombia, and India. We also opened a few new offices in Poland. We during 2022 we also acquired it's pretty interesting like dynamic that Ukrainian company during the war acquired UK-based company, and we globalized a lot. So like as of now we have like 30% of our employees outside of Ukraine. We are still growing in Ukraine, which is grow outside of Ukraine a bit faster, And basically that also gives some confidence and security for our existing clients. We rebalanced our budget, so we cut some of the planned costs, like we increased some of the other costs. Basically BCP cost, business continuity cost. And we also, like previously, our like main driver of our business were like marketing activities. Now we like put more efforts in business development and have more enterprise sales executives in our team who brings business. So we actually transformed the way how we do business as well. Yeah, this is our globalization. So this like the war boost actually our growth outside of Ukraine and our globalization. And before the war, we were like Ukrainian company, like fully Ukrainian company with little presence outside of Ukraine. Now we are very much global. So we have our employees all around the world. Like we have multiple offices, and even in the eyes of our clients, we actually became much more stronger. So that was kind of, like COVID taught us that we all can work remote and there is no urgent need to visit the office every day. The same like war pushed us to globalize, and we became more global company that we used to before. So I would probably finish my part with words of Nietzsche: "What does not kill me makes me stronger." And like all managers and all leaders in our company get very unique experience. So if you're able to operate in this kind of circumstances, like operating in normal mode, it's like business as usual is much more easier. So this was lessons learned for us. And like I think many of us who go through those obstacles became much stronger leaders that we've been before. That's actually it from my side. So I probably finished a bit early, but I'm happy to answer questions if any, or yeah, so probably the rest of the time we can use more in Q&A format.
Okay, thank you very much, Roman. Your insights and expertise were incredibly valuable, and we appreciate your time and effort to put into sharing them with us. And yeah, let's kick off the Q&A session now. I see we have already some submitted questions, so let's start with first one. So how did you build resilience within the team and yourself who acted BCP? I assume business continuity plan.
Yeah. We actually, I can say like we built it somehow. We did not have too many options. And for me, as I mentioned, that was not the first time when I facing this. For the rest of the team, you just need to go through this. You don't like have a choice rather to do this or not to do this. I have to say that not all people cope with this task very well. There were like someone who they were not able to perform in the environment like this, and they really needed some kind of support. Some of the guys, they took some kind of sabbatical. But like majority of the people, they just realized this is the only way they need to go through this, and they operated in this mode. They were just like way more flexible to any changes or any challenges we face. And so like we were also very much inspired by Ukrainian armed forces, and wherever we see that some guys, they're on the front line, they understand that running business in such circumstances or writing the code is like the easiest part of the story. So that's probably it. So can't say anything specific about like building resilience or any other action from our side. We also, as I mentioned, maybe one more thing that we offered to our employees to work with doctors, psychologists who like were able to talk to you, and basically we had people who has experience working with the victims of like wars, and we had few experts from Israel who had this kind of experience, and they worked with some of our colleagues in this way. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And the second question, how did you ensure the mental health of the PM and HR team during the hard time?
So like each PM has his or her own manager. Like, for example, in my team, I had about 60 project and delivery managers. Each of them, they have their own manager, and basically the goal of their manager to ensure the mental health of their like subordinates. Those managers has like head of the departments, and head of departments need to ensure. So basically we have hierarchy, and basically in this hierarchy, each next step had to ensure that his or her subordinates like are okay in mental perspective. Don't ask me who was checking my mental health, but yeah, so that's how it worked. If we see any risks, and this is pretty like a normal situation in such circumstances, we just like suggested people to ask for help, take a sub-article, or like we were like discussing how we can help as a company, or how manager able to help his subordinate to stay up and running. The same for HR team, they also have this similar hierarchy, and like we had someone responsible for making sure that our HR team is also like stay okay.
Thank you. I see one comment, so let me read it. Roman,
Sure.
what impressed me most is that you were the one to initiate this event. Ukraine has huge problems by itself and still take care of others. Kudos.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so guys, last chance to submit your question if you would like to ask about anything. And maybe hopefully short question from my side, as I'm interested in knowing what strategies business can implement to ensure their continuity during such challenging times, and how can they strike a balance between staying operational and supporting the communities affected by the crisis. Of course, in few words, because this question can be for another hour.
Probably, can you repeat the question? Not sure I get it. So what strategies company choose to keep up and running, or
what in your opinion, what strategies business can implement to ensure that to ensure business continuity?
Yeah. Look, I read an article some time ago, and my vision is following. So if you look in your company, try to ask question yourself, what can break my business? What kind of piece of my company is crucial, and if I remove it, that will ruin my business fully. And then try to think, how can I secure this piece? There could be different strategy, maybe like geographical distribution of key employees, maybe some knowledge sharing, maybe like moving some of your IT infrastructure to the cloud, and so on and so forth. So basically try to model different situations which somehow like ruin your company, and think, okay, what can I survive without legal team? Can I survive without financial team? Can I survive without CEO? Can I survive without like some of my employees? What can I do to to make sure that if this event would happen, I have plan B? And sometimes it would require you certain investment, like doubling some of the functions, doubling some of the infrastructure. But in case of some emergency, that may help you to survive and to save your company. So that's the recommendation I can give on this matter. I called it something like Jenga game, where you remove certain pieces of your companies, and when there will be a moment when your company will be ruined, this is a good moment to understand, okay, I need somehow to secure this block and this piece of my business. That's like a short answer.
Thank you.
Cool.
I don't see any additional questions, so I believe we can stop recording.
I see we have one question in the chat.
It just came. What kind of hierarchy may facilitate more than business continuity? What is your company hierarchy?
I would say like we have kind of classical way of structuring the business. We have each client, like each account is kind of engagement. And those engagements, they are grouped in units grouped in departments, like grouped in segments. So I'm head of segment. But this is just the business part, basically delivery part. Another area is different functions that we have in our company, like finance, legal, IT, etc. And they're basically cross the segments. We have 5 segments in the company, a set of functions which actually enable us to deliver value to our clients. So the structure is quite simple. Yeah, I mean, it shows quite well. Not sure if I answered your question. Cool. Yeah, I think to avoid awkward silence, whatever you have any other questions, feel free to find me in LinkedIn. Happy to answer. Like if you need any suggestion or advice, yeah, always open to share our interesting experience here in Ukraine.
We have one more.
Yeah. Oh, we have one more. Okay, cool.
Even 2. They are still coming.
Awesome.
So what skills should be developed in employees to act efficiently through BCP?
I think this is not about the skills. Like I think it's being ready to accept diverse scenario, because we as a human beings, we don't want to believe that something bad gonna happen. We want to stay positive, think optimistically. And sometimes you need to step over this and think, okay, well, what could be the worst scenario? Like be ready for this scenario. Like be kind of skeptical in business perspective and be ready for worst scenario. I don't think this is kind of skills. That's just something that you as a leader can teach your team, and wherever something bad is not happening, okay, this is a good scenario, but we should be ready for the worst case. So that probably would be my response on this. That's more like a mindset rather than the skill, I believe.
Okay, and probably the last one. Do you have any process in place to keep individual resilience on a high level?
Look, we have certain number of people related activities. We have pretty strong people organization, people management organization. We call it talent management. We don't even try to use HR, like not calling people resources. We call it talents. And our talent management organization, first we have we use one-on-one meetings as a pretty powerful instrument. For example, each manager run one-on-ones with the employees, and after this one-on-one, we have kind of survey which manager has to fulfill, where he or she may indicate a couple of areas like mental health, whether we see risk that of attrition of certain person. And we put green, yellow, and red. Whatever we have any reds, that means, okay, we need extra attention from people partner side, maybe to talk more with the person, understand what's the problem, how we mitigate the risks. So this one-on-ones is very important part. We have also different, like we call it mood indicator. For example, when people report their time, they actually have kind of scale, and they can actually put their mood. And we also see some different fluctuation of this moods of our employees. It's interesting to observe on a large scale. For example, when the mood goes up, goes down, what kind of events related to this. We also have a lot of regular sessions. And for example, if people have some topics that they want, like they're interested in, or they want to cover, we invite certain people. We have different events from like therapists who may actually cover those topics. We also offer, like it's part of our insurance package. People may work with psychologists and, you know, like visit the doctor, like to make sure that their mental health is okay. What else? Yeah, so we use different kind of surveys to understand people, what are the pain points of the people, what are they worrying about, what we can do for them. And yeah, I mean, right now also important thing is like when we visited the office, and after the COVID, there was also some spike when people start visiting the office, and like arranging something in the office, some like team building activities is also kind of important to keep morale of the team. And yeah, we also have certain like extra budget for those kind of events, just to make sure that you know, like we can keep people engaged and satisfied with that. So that's probably those strategy with it.
Okay, perfect. Seems that we finished with all open questions. So once again today, thank you very much for your presentation and also for the Q&A session. And I believe I can stop recording.